It's time for Frank Walls.
All right, back again with another legend. This is Logan Ryan, defensive back, NFL, corner, safety. He played both positions.
Yep.
Rutgers guy.
There we go.
Jersey guy, Patriots Super Bowl champion, and also the guy who the Patriots
blew up the Death Star.
Yes,
there.
you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You know, they always say you live long enough, you become the villain.
Exactly,
and I
right?
guess in Foxborough, you're
The last pass, someone had to catch it. Brady threw it right to me. Ended it, Mike Vrabel telling me to slide. He actually got mad at me for not sliding there. And then, you know, it leads Brady to Tampa, where I live now, and the Bucks get a Super Bowl. And then Mike Vrabel leads him back to New England. So life is in a full circle.
You know, it's going to be funny. It's, 10, 15 years, 20 years, the rest of your life, you're going to be at these Patriot functions. And that's always going to be there. And the fact that the pick six, this was like the nail in the coffin that ended the Patriots dynasty.
Well, you know, all great things got to come to an end. And I think we saw from the roast and the documentaries, like, it was due.
Yeah.
You know, fresh starts sometimes are good for everybody. So that's what it is. But, man, there was so many great memories there.
Well, I personally think that going to Tampa and winning one in Tampa just made Brady, put him on another level.
I mean, he's the GOAT for that. I mean, I think a lot of quarterbacks realize that's not easy to do.
No.
I think guys have tried, and it's not easy to go to a new team, get the system in place, everything go right. It's so hard to win a Super Bowl in football because there's no game. You know, there's no 7-game series. You got to win best of sevens, all game sevens.
I mean, the Jets tried to do it with Aaron Rodgers, and that blew up in their face.
And Russ tried it with Denver, leaving Seattle to go to Denver. So I think that really stamped Tom in that situation there, and I got to play with him in Tampa, and I saw his mindset, man, how driven he is, and his ability to get that done. There's no other athlete in sports that pulled that off first year on a new team.
I mean, you think about it, Joe Montana couldn't even do it.
Right.
And Joe Montana, he had a good year in Kansas City his first year, but lost in the AFC Championship game. It's incredible. And the thing about the Patriots is they were a system. They could grab anybody and found to make the best out of someone. They found people that you wouldn't think would be that great, and then they always did it. They always had a system. We saw Devin McCourty.
Yeah, Jason.
That was Jason.
Yeah, easily mistakable.
Yeah, well, twins.
They're twins. Yeah, that's an easy mistake.
Twins.
Yeah, both of them though. You know, they got a Super Bowl together.
Yes.
There. You know, grab Devin, who I went to Rutgers with, and he's an all-pro corner. Then they move him to safety, and that works out as well. All-pro safety. So yeah, listen. If you have the defensive coaching in place, like Belichick, you have the mastermind in place, then you have the Hall of Fame quarterback at place. That gives you the freedom to move a lot of pieces around. But I never went into a Patriots game in my career ever feeling 1 ounce that we would lose a game. Never. We were so prepared.
They were.
You know.
As a Dolphin fan, just knowing.
I'm sorry to hear. Dolphins fan from New Jersey?
Yeah, Dan Marino. Easiest answer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was different. I'm actually old enough to remember the Dolphins going to Super Bowls.
Yeah. See, that's before my time. That's before my time. The Dolphins we would always stump our toe playing in Miami from New England, though. That was a tough game for us to play.
They used to be a national team, the Dolphins. It's just they've been down for so long now. People forget that. People forget how great.
Legend.
People forget how good they were, and it's just been so bad so long. It's kind of depressing as a Dolphin fan. And then you watch the Patriots just have their 20 years of excellence.
Well, the Pats got to figure it out now.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
when that Hall of Fame quarterback retires, things kind of get reset here, and I think we're starting to see that, with a lot of teams.
It was due. I personally don't like how they handled the Jared Mayo situation.
Yeah, I don't like that either. As a former teammate, as a former Patriot, I don't think any of us were cool with how that Mayo situation went down. I don't think Robert Kraft was extremely happy about it, on how well it went down. I know he apologized, but Gerard didn't get a fair stake at it at all because he didn't have the roster, they didn't spend the money, and he really is his first year. They find Drake May, and then he doesn't really get a future to coach him.
It feels like they always wanted to hire Vrabel. And even though Mike Vrabel might be a great coach, might be the answer, I don't like how they handled the Jared Mayo situation.
No, I agree, and I think it was, if they can get Vrabel, if we can get Vrabel, this is our chance to get him. We might not get him again.
Yeah.
And maybe they should have got him a year prior. Who knows? I know Gerard was chosen before the hand, but maybe, Robert Kraft's thinking, hey, this is my chance to get Mike. I played for Mike Vrabel, and he's a heck of a coach now. He's a guy. I always say that head coaches, just because you call plays, a coordinator doesn't make you a good head coach. Head coach got to stand in front of the room, be motivational, inspire. And I feel like Mike Vrabel is good at leading a room. Obviously, that personality as a player. He's good at leading a locker room. He's good at leading a room. But he also is good on the X and O's and actual schematics. So I think he actually has the rare both things you need to be a good head coach.
Now, we're going to rewind a little bit. You went to Rutgers.
I did, yeah.
And Rutgers seems to send, great players who just, are ready to play as soon as they reach the NFL.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that goes to Greg Schiano. And one, he really knows how to recruit good players. And he finds these gems, like the McCourty twins. They weren't highly recruited. Ray Rice was not highly recruited. Get some of these guys to stay in New Jersey or stay in that area, and there's good players, good athletes out there.
Yes.
But Rutgers is so hard, man.
Yeah,
I haven't had a day in the NFL that was harder than a college day at Rutgers. We ran so much, lifted so much, that when I went to New England, people told me how hard it was going to be. It was nothing compared to playing for Greg Schiano. I just felt like...
I mean, he's the only one who's ever brought success to Rutgers. He's made Rutgers at least competitive. And it's tough. The challenges of playing at Rutgers, and because, Northeast, college football doesn't mean a whole lot to people in New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, and that's pro sports up there. But look at Isaiah Pacheco in the Super Bowl. Third time in 3 years this guy's been in the Super Bowl, runs really hard. So, I think those Rutgers players play with a certain toughness to them that you can't take.
Well, it's Jersey tough. Jersey makes you tougher.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a walk with Eric LeGrand, and he's really like an icon at Rutgers.
Yeah. Legend, man. I was on the field, when that play happened. He was running down. He was a nose tackle, undersized, nose guard, 3-technique nose guard, right, at 270, 260 pounds. And he's running out on kickoff. He was on kickoff to blow up the wedge. And imagine someone that big, a D lineman on kickoff to blow up the wedge. And that play happens, nobody gets up, and Eric gets carted off to a hospital, man. And that was one of the craziest times of all our lives, a lot to process at that age. And you see the inspiration, the belief that Eric LeGrand became for that.
He's become like the face of Rutgers football, I think.
And a lot of people say, what is Rutgers and where is Rutgers? I get that a lot from NFL guys. Rutgers is the birthplace of college football.
Yes, it is.
First ever college football game.
1869, November what? November 6th?
Played Princeton.
And beat Princeton, 1869 national champions.
There you go. And I think the score was like 6-2,
I think.
6-2 because touchdowns count as 1 point back then.
Yes.
Right? So you know our history there. Birthplace of college football.
It just gets a lot of disrespect. That's what the problem is.
Yeah. A lot of disrespect. Well, a lot of disrespectful people come from New Jersey, though. We're not afraid to call how we see it. Straight shooters, I like to call them.
Well, that's how I got my reputation. My career started basically ripping New Jersey Transit.
Yeah, I think we can rip that. I agree with you. New Jersey Transit is tough.
I mean, New Jersey Transit, it's been a legacy of just failure.
You grew up taking New Jersey Transit? Like, what was your issue with it?
Well, yeah, I grew up taking. I didn't learn how to drive until I was 28.
Okay.
So I was going to a Mets opening day, and the trains broke down.
So you relied on the trains?
Yeah.
Every day, everywhere.
Yeah. So it's terrible. So now, what do you have going on these days?
Okay, so I was actually in the Super Bowl last year for the Niners. Had a little side quest there. I was semi-retired, left the cruise. Kyle Shanahan calls me. I joined the Niners, playing Super Bowl, and after that, I was like, you know what? It's time to call it. Retired, joined CBS, broadcasting. Called college football games this year. Did a lot of UConn games. Did some Army. Did some Air Force. Had a lot of fun doing that. And I also worked on with CBS HQ and do a NFL pregame show every Sunday.
Well,
breaking down
great.
how everything we love in football and all that stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but
yeah, you don't leave the game. The game never leaves you.
No, the game. Look, I'm a natural storyteller. I got a lot of stories, and I'm a guy that's just fresh off the field. So
now, what is one of your favorite stories?
One of my favorite stories.
Yes.
Man. Okay. Well, I can tell you how I started an animal foundation, 501c3 nonprofit.
Perfect.
Right? It's called RARF, the Ryan Animal Rescue Foundation. How this started was when I was in New England, my wife, then girlfriend at the time, she took a job at an animal shelter. She was working at animal shelters, sweeping kennels, whatnot. She was like, you know what? I need to provide my own things. I don't want to be known as your whatever. Very independent. So she goes, gets a job, works at an animal shelter. So I go in on Tuesdays. That's our natural off day. I go in on Tuesdays, go walk the dogs, hang out. There's a dog in a kennel named Mr. Bingley, and these dogs were not getting adopted. And you know, it's cold up there. This was in Providence Animal Shelter. Mr. Bingley was deaf. He was, when you walk up to his kennel, he would be facing the wall backwards. He didn't know people were there. I'm like, Bingley is never getting adopted. Fast forward, my wife and I get married. Small little destination wedding in St. Lucia, right? So we're in there. She wants to do a trash the dress wedding shoot. You're like, where's this going? Why are we talking about your wedding? Here, it's going to finish up soon. So she wants to trash the dress, which means I pay a lot of money for a wedding dress, and she wants to jump in the ocean after we get married to trash the dress and get a wedding. I had no idea why. I said, whatever, you know, I can't say no on this day. So after the wedding, we go out, we trash the dress. We're walking through the town of Sioux Falls, St. Lucia. Tons of street dogs, tons of just wild dogs. If you go anywhere outside a resort, you know how it can look like.
Yep.
Impoverished, all animals, all there. So photographers walking with us like this, and as we're doing the shoot, he goes, listen, don't give the dogs any food, don't pet them because they're not going to let us work. I say, yes, sir, I understood. I look over, my wife is on a knee in her wedding dress getting licked in the face by a street dog. He goes, oh, that's awesome. Takes a picture of it. We move on. We trash the dress. We go back up to our lovely honeymoon suite. And we're talking like, man, we saw a lot of animals. I wonder how we can help. So we make a donation to them. And then in lieu of taking any type of wedding gifts from our registry, we had those McCourty twins there we met earlier. All my NFL friends donate to help Paul St. Lucia for my wedding.
That's wonderful.
So we raised thousands of dollars for them, whatever. We don't tell anyone about it. We go back on our way. We land after our honeymoon. I turn on my phone. That story, that photographer posted that picture and told this story how a football player came to their country, raised tens of thousands of dollars, and they ended up taking that dog in that photo, naming it Logan, and it paid for like 60 or 70 animals, spay and neuters, right? And that story goes viral, right? So now it just starts spreading like wildfire. And all these people start calling us, texting us, whatever, how can we help you guys? How can we help you guys? So I had to start the Ryan Animal Rescue Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit, the day after we came home from our honeymoon, because the story went viral, just so we can take all the donations and put them in the right places.
Oh,
so that's where we started in 2017.
That is terrific, and I guess it's growing every day. And,
yeah. Now it's very large, and it's time consuming, and that's something I'm doing now. And so I just love animals. I always have. I have 3 rescue dogs now. I got a pit bull named Leo I rescued in Boston when I was a Patriot. He's still alive. He's 12 now, turning 12. So I just always been an animal lover and felt like, speaking for the voiceless, they can't really help themselves. So we try to encourage people to adopt, don't shop.
Yeah, adopt, don't shop.
There we go. So that's the story right there. A little long-winded, but
oh, it's a great story, though. It was a great story.
You can't tell those long ones on TV.
No,
but
it's a great story. Well, you can take it on a nice little walk. That's why Frank Walks always works. And I want to thank you for taking the time. And it was great. And
I appreciate it.
My Jersey
guy.
proud. Jersey
Keep
proud.
up the good work, man. You're doing a lot for health and wellness, and you're
Thanks.
encouraging a lot of people to walk.
Thanks.